This is the 2025 Honda Odyssey Sport L. Is it the ultimate multitasking minivan? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Holmes Honda. We're going to go over this particular model and give you all the details, but mainly all the things that it has that may make it the ultimate multitasker. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Let's take a look at what we have here. Being the Sport L trim level, you're going to have a lot of sport accents all over the vehicle and the sport badge on the rear. As far as your lighting goes, it's LED. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and then right down here on the lower portion of the bumper, I didn't turn them on, but you also have the LED fog lights. Also your turn signal indicators right here. Make sure you use those when you're driving down the road. People do like to actually know what you're going to do, believe it or not, before you do it. We don't like to guess. And as far as this year goes, there are a couple of minor exterior changes as far as the size of the grille and things like that. On the rear, there's something very interesting that I will show you when we get to that point. You still have Honda sensing here, which is going to be adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure mitigation, and lane keeping assist. Now the Odyssey does come exclusively with front wheel drive. Let's talk about our tire and wheel setup here. We're going to have 235 on the width. That's going to be your tread right here. A 55 series sidewall. And these are going to be the 19-inch wheels. I do like the combination of what we have here with some gloss black, but not all gloss black. For those of you who maybe aren't fans of the black wheels, you can still go sport and you don't have to have the black wheels. We work our way up to the side view mirrors, gloss black mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. Now they are manually folding, they're not power folding on this trim level. They are going to be heated and they are going to be power adjustable. One thing you'll see is that blind spot monitoring is not built into the side view mirrors, but that's okay. It's here. I'm always curious to know. It's going to be right here. So we'll see what happens in the future with the Odyssey. I'll maybe show you that later in the video when we turn the Odyssey on and you can see that in action. Personally, I like to have that built into the side view mirror, just my personal preference. And while we're here, let me grab the remote out of my pocket. There is your remote for 2025. Now that is different. It has the same buttons with the same layout, but a different design, but everything is ultimately the same. You have a remote start, you can open and close both side sliding side doors. All that good stuff is here. In fact, let me do that real quick. Both doors are power sliding, as you can see right there. There's a couple of different ways to open and close those depending on what you want to do. That makes things nice and easy. Power windows that come down to about right here, and they do have shades that can be put in place. Now, large windows I do like. That's a good thing. Privacy glass, easy to see out of. Always nice to see that kind of thing. Rear roof spoiler is going to be back here. That works. The window wiper, that's going to be useful. And LED taillights. But here's what I was going to tell you about. Something very interesting, another change to the Odyssey for 2025. It's going to be the marker light right here. That comes from the second generation of the Acura NSX. Too bad it doesn't make the Odyssey any faster. Under the hood is the 3.5 liter V6. It makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. All of that's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. So being that this is a fairly large vehicle, what can we expect with MPGs? Well, I'm going to come back here and read them off to you because there's such a glare you won't be able to see it. We're looking at 19 city, 28 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And one more thing I like to show back here is the gas tank. We'll show it, but I'm going to tell you something about it too, which is the fact that it's 19.5 gallons in size. You do have capless fuel fill there. When you lock the Odyssey, in fact, I'll go ahead and demonstrate this for you real quick, just for peace of mind. You'll notice that the gas door also locks. That won't open for me right now. I will unlock the vehicle and it opens again. So it's actually very difficult for somebody to get some kind of foreign substance in there anyway because the baffles are so far down. Not that they couldn't find something to do that with. So if you're concerned about that, you know that you don't have to worry about it as much because of that gas door being lockable. Now you do have a power tailgate here. It does not have the hands-free function on this trim level where you can kick your foot under the bumper, but you can push the button on the tailgate, the button on the remote, or the button on the interior to open that. That works very well. 3,500 pounds of towing capacity, that's because it's front wheel drive. But how about your cargo capacity? 32.8 up to 140.7 cubic feet, which is actually pretty impressive because that's actually very close to what full-size SUVs such as the Suburbans and the Yukon XLs have. So pretty good. A question answered right here. Do the rear seats recline? Yes, they do. The middle seats recline too. But I really like what we have right here. Let me move this up and out of the way so we can talk about some of the usability here. The stowing magic seats. What exactly is that? Well, the good thing about having Austin on the camera is I can do this a lot easier than normal. So what happens is you can do that, and all you're doing is pulling on this strap. Once you do this once or twice, you find out how easy it is. I say that, and then I don't get that one to work. Imagine that on camera, right? There we go. So you can fold those completely flat, and the middle seats, all three of those are removable. There are 3 different seats. I'll try to remember to put something on the screen because I'm just not going to take them out today. I've already been to the gym one time. I don't need to lift anything else heavy today. But those do come out, and that maximizes your cargo capacity. And the good thing about that is then you can use this area as a delivery van. You could actually outfit it with maybe some shelves and something like that. Use it as a work van. Of course, you can also use it for its primary intended purpose, which is to be used as a family hauler. You can go on vacation. You can do all those things. Now, it's very easy to do this. As you can see, no problem. As far as storage goes, while it's not necessarily intentionally here, this area can be used as storage. That's one thing I like about that. If you have something that maybe is tall enough, but you don't need to put it inside all the way, you don't need to lower the seats down, you can use this area and it can accommodate taller items that will fit. You also have shelving, or I should say storage spaces right here. There's also 2 over here on the left-hand side, an upper and a lower. And you also have the ability to power something if you need to, a 12-volt power outlet right there. And one more thing I want to show you back here real quick with this rear door. Let's say you want to change the height of the door. All you have to do is lower it or raise it, whatever you need to do. You just put it wherever you want it to be, and you hold this button down and you listen for the beeps. Those beeps right there. And then we're going to demonstrate that for you real fast. There's also a button down here next to the button that allows you to open this power tailgate, that allows you to lock the vehicle or unlock the vehicle if you have the remote in your possession. But as you can see, there it is. It went back to the spot where I set it. Now I'm going to be nice and reset that and put it back where it should be. And what would this video be if I didn't show you how to gain access to the 3rd row? There's a lever right here in this area on the seat, and all you have to do is pull up on that lever, and that allows the seat to move up and out of the way. And there is a decent amount of space here that allows me to hop into the back seat. Now, leg space, well, let's see. Let's pull this back all the way. It's not bad, actually. Hopefully you can see that. It is a little dark in here, I know, but we can only work with what we have. But there is some space there. There's also a little storage pocket right here on the top area. And then, let's see, let me grab the camera real fast, and then I can show you a little bit better of what's here. So here is another power outlet, a 12-volt power outlet, and then you have an air conditioning vent and a couple of cup holders right there. But what's interesting is over here on the passenger side, it's a little different. You still have the cup holders and the air conditioning vent, but you also have a couple of USB ports. Now I'm going to hand the camera back to Austin real quick, and I'm going to hop back out. Now this is not that difficult to do, and it's not difficult to do because there is a release right here. Hopefully you can see that. I just pull up on that and I can move the seat up and out of the way. So that makes things nice and simple, pretty easy to get out, to get in and get out. And there is another advantage. There's a release under the seats where you can actually move the seat back and forth. So if the rear seat passengers don't have enough leg room, this is probably way further forward than you're actually going to see, but you can move that up like that. And these seats, these are the magic stowing seats. You can also move them back and forth like this. I have a full video where I show how to do all of that. So we're not going to do that in today's video. I will try and remember. If I forget, somebody remind me down in the comment section to link that video where I show how to remove these seats and maximize your cargo space. I have a dedicated video for that. Now, You might wonder why the armrest right here with the cup holders built in is so low. Obviously, if it was as high as it really should be, then it would take up a lot of space into the third row. But it's not that way. I think this works. And here's another one of those releases. That's how you're going to actually get that up and take advantage of all three seats right here. We're also going to have oh crap handles at all doors in case somebody drops the hammer on almighty 280 horsepower. What's interesting, from a standing stop, if you floor it in this Odyssey, it will actually chirp the tires a little bit. It doesn't really do anything more than that and rev the engine real high, but it sounds kind of cool when it does that. Cup holders right here as well. Nobody is going thirsty. I think there's something to the tune of 15 cup holders throughout the interior here, and a couple of USB options down there as well. We'll also find the rear seat pockets right here, and on the we not only have the air conditioning vents that are built in back there that I showed you, also right here, as you can see, Austin showing you that on the screen. And that button right above that is another one of the options for opening or closing these power sliding doors. I really like that. A lot of different options. Now, if the battery dies, what do? There's a release right here to do the same thing. It will allow the door to automatically open manually. You can do that. I also talked about right here, we have the shade that can be put in place. Quite a bit going on here as far as that goes. So great for hauling people, great for hauling cargo. You could do a lot of things. You could use it as a work van. This is truly what I think is one of the greatest multitasking minivans on the market, but we're not finished yet. What's it going to cost you to get into what could very well be the ultimate multitasking minivan? $44,920 for the Sport L trim level, at least at Holmes Honda. Let's see what else you get for the price. And we'll start with the door panel on the passenger side over there. A lot of space with the armrest and with the door bin. We have large door bins on those rear sliding doors as well. I didn't talk about that. And we'll work our way up here to the glove box. See if I can get that to open for us. There is the glove box. And those are the wheel locks. The wheel lock key, excuse me, is in that bag, not the wheel locks themselves. Those are on the wheels. But that's where the wheel lock key is found in case you're looking for that. Now, we have power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. They're both heated. Unfortunately, not ventilated. I would like to have that even today in Northwest Louisiana on December 16th. The one thing that's missing, in fact, yeah, it is just one thing. We do have power seats, power adjustable, and lumbar support with the driver and the passenger seats. The only thing missing from the passenger seat is to raise its height or lower it. That's it. Now, I'll grab the camera here real fast, and we will go over here and take a look at the driver's side door panel. All the controls for the windows are going to be here, and you can lock or unlock those windows with that button, control the side view mirrors here, and seat memory available for the driver's side, and also the buttons for the power sliding side doors and the rear door. That power door back there can also be controlled here. And if you want to attempt the front wheel drive burnout, make your tires chirp a little bit, turn traction control off right there. There is your power parking brake, if you were wondering where that is. And right here is the lever that you release to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. We do have some changes to the design of the steering wheel for 2025, but all the functionality is basically the same. And you'll also notice a new instrument cluster for 2025. We can scroll through using the scroll wheel right there. All the different information, we can go in there if we need to and see whatever it is we need to see and make adjustments and all that good stuff. So we're going to go back over here, give Austin the camera. We're going to go to the center screen right here. A very nice screen. This is the 9-inch touch screen. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as you can see here and here. And you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. Easy to deal with, always like that. That way you can use whatever app you want for your maps and good things like that. Here are our vehicle settings, and very easy to figure out because you have the graphics that correspond with each area of the vehicle that you might need to deal with. If for some reason your power tailgate isn't working, here is where you need to come and make sure that is set to on. I have seen situations where it's not. And so that's there. By the way, you also have the walk-away feature with that remote. I didn't mention that earlier in the video, but it is there. And we also have several different settings here as well. If you want to know where some of those things are, there you go. And still going to have our good old-fashioned knob right here for turning the radio on and off. That's always useful, and people seem to like that, and adjusting your volume. Everything to control your air conditioner is going to be right here. We can control our temperature here. It is a little bit warm today, so I'm actually going to turn that down. That's actually necessary right now. And I'll go into reverse and show you the multi-view rear view camera. I do hope that when the day comes that we see the Honda Odyssey fully redesigned, surely we will, that we get more camera views than just a rear view camera. Hint, hint, Honda. And I think a lot of people would agree with me that that is needed. Now, you do still have your push button shifter right here. You have snow mode and econ mode, and then you have your drive and your sport mode right there. So depending on what you want to do, you can either be in drive or you can be in sport. Now, we don't have sequential mode here because this is not an all-wheel drive model. And something I really do like here that I hope never changes is the large pass-through that Honda has right here. A lot of space for storing, well, basically whatever will fit, and more connectivity options, USB as well as another 12-volt power outlet. See if I can open that. And then we're going to have our cup holders, and here is your wireless charging pad. We'll get the armrests out of the way. Something that hasn't changed is you still have this garage door style lid or cover, whatever you want to call that, for the center console space. But there is a lot of room in there, plenty of space to store whatever you need to, even a little bit of a shelf back here for whatever you want to put back there. And while we're talking about it, here are the armrests. Now, personally, I'd rather have a taller center console and use that as the armrest, but for now, this is what we have. You can adjust the height a little bit, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem the same to me. I wish it would adjust and stay at the same level angle that it is instead of angling up like that. So just one of those things. And finally, let's talk about what you'll find up here. First of all, the sunroof. That does open and close. It tilts and slides open. And you control all of that here in this area. So you can see that you're going to have your lights right there. If you want to turn those on, and a sunglass holder with the conversation mirror. Hi, everybody. There we both are on the camera. So if I wanted to give, if Austin was in the back seat and I wanted to give him the angry eyes or the kind eyes, whatever it was, or maybe the curious eyes, I could do that. And you can do that with your kids too. Or you can just use that as a good old fashioned sunglass holder if I can get that to work properly, like that. And real quick, the blind spot monitoring, I promised I'd show it to you. There it is. That's going to be on both doors. All right, here we go with a quick test drive with the Odyssey. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive. And some might question, is 280 horsepower enough? It really seems to be. Getting up to speed is not a problem. Now, there's only two of us in the vehicle, so not a ridiculous amount of weight, but I don't think you're going to have an issue even with a full load of passengers, or maybe you're hauling around a bunch of Christmas gifts. We're filming this video right around Christmas time in case you're watching it after the new year has started. But there's so much room back there for so many things that I'm sure you could really pack it in very well and have a lot of weight back there and still get down the road without any trouble. Easy to see out of, as I mentioned earlier in the video, which is something I always like, with the tall windows. And you obviously have your safety features, your driving aids, blind spot monitoring, all of that's going to be here. The seats themselves seem to be pretty comfortable. I would like to have a little bit higher armrest, again, that isn't angled when you change the angle on these, but that's my personal preference. Somebody might say, you know what, Tom, I like mine. That works really well for me. It's not a problem. Technology is very easy to learn and use. If you're somebody who's maybe stepping into this type of technology for the first time, don't let it scare you off. It's not anything that's difficult to learn. That's always good to know. Overall, a very well-rounded vehicle. It gets down the road very well. It's comfortable. It's very versatile for a multitude of situations, and obviously very, very roomy. It's another thing that I know a lot of people ask about. Can somebody who's over 6 feet tall fit into the interior? Yeah, that's absolutely no problem. I'm 5'10", so not a big deal for me. But if you're over 6 feet tall, I can tell there is a lot of room left to grow as far as the space goes. So depending on who you are, this is really a great vehicle for multitudes of situations. All right, tell me what you think about the 2025 Honda Odyssey Sport L. Is it the ultimate multitasking minivan? Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you'd like to see change when the day comes. Hopefully we will see that happen in the next couple of years with the Odyssey as far as the full redesign goes. More important, tell Honda what you want to see where that is concerned. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning us this Odyssey for the day so we can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Share this video on your timelines on social media. We'd appreciate that. More people can see it that way. And if you would like to learn about more vehicles, maybe something else you'd like to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.